I agree with you there.
Talk to Matt. He's one of the faces of the Occupy Wall Street.
Man, how you doing, man?
And he now
hashtag.
And now he's an intern with the Opie and Anthony show.
Yes. Well, occupy the seat and occupy the mic. And
thank you.
What's the end game?
Well, first
down
of all,
there?
Matt, how old are you?
24.
And 24. Jesus, and you're interning at 24?
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate from?
I didn't graduate.
All right.
Where are you going to school?
Buffalo.
You want to get into radio?
Shouldn't you be in school now?
Well, I'm down here.
See?
So
down here for the cause.
You left school?
I did. I signed up for a class so I could do this, but that's it.
Oh. Yeah, that's nice.
So,
Yeah. All right. So
I'm
you're-
all in.
Helps cool.
So you're down at Wall Street every night?
I've been going every day since Friday. I slept there last night.
He has a good voice, by the way,
Lot of
for
chicks.
fucking radio.
Yeah, you got a good
You have
radio,
good radio
voice.
voice.
Thank you.
Chicks down there? That's why.
Yes, there actually are
see?
some.
That's why.
I fingered a hippie chick the other
That's
night.
nice. See?
She, it
That's
was-
fucking
She had
occupy
a
her
very
vagina.
smelly-
Of course she was. She's a hippie.
Of course.
She's a hippie sleeping on fucking Bank Street. Of course she's a fucking pussy smoker.
Nothing wrong with occupying a vagina.
No, there's nothing wrong
You
with
can't
that.
hate everything. What's wrong
Right.
with you? You could understand that,
Oh,
can't
exactly.
you? Okay,
Hashtag
all right.
occupy her mouth with my dick.
There's this one chick that she wears just like blankets, and she goes around just hugging everybody.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
She fat or she
Very,
good?
No, she's pretty cute.
Very hippie-ish thing going on
Well,
down
there's,
there.
there's some hippies down there.
Yeah, they're
Modern day
good looking
hippies.
ones. Yeah.
Well, that's good. What's the end game down there? What I
do you-
understand
what are you
what
seeing
people are
down-
mad at.
What are you seeing
I
down there?
understand what people are mad at. But what needs to happen for everybody to go, well, we can leave now. We won.
There is no end game.
Yeah?
It's I mean, when hippies look at like Woodstock, when hippies go to a place, they tend not to leave.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's going on. But the great thing about this protest is it means something different to everyone that's down there.
Yeah.
Like for some people, people come with the unions and it's about getting better pay and getting better benefits, 4-day work week. Other people, it's about other people, it's about the system, just going against the system, about the Fed. I mean, Anthony, do you know what the Federal Reserve is?
Yeah. It's that bank thing that kind of dictates everything that involves money, and it's not really a government agency. Is it?
Exactly. It's a private. It's
Yeah.
a cartel of private banks.
Yep.
So do you know where your personal income tax goes? All of your personal income tax goes to paying off interest.
Mm-hmm.
The government borrows all of its money from the private banks, which is the Fed. And then all of your income tax, your private income tax, personal income tax, goes to pay off that interest. So it's a big scam, essentially, because the government could just print its own money. But the last two presidents that tried to print their own money, Lincoln and Kennedy, were shot.
Oh.
I don't believe in that tie-in,
Wow.
but the interesting point about the Federal Reserve is, I don't know how right he is, but I don't believe the Kennedy tie-in, unless Oswald did it for that reason.
What's
Maybe
the
Oswald did that.
what's the Kennedy tie-in? Because
Lincoln had a little bit of baggage himself.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that was
Wouldn't want to
supposedly
lay a
why
shot
they
into
were
that
both
dumb
shot.
hat.
Huh?
Supposedly that's why they were both shot. Lincoln, he tried to print greenbacks, they were called, and it was interest-free money. And Kennedy also had the same idea. And also with Kennedy, there was a plan to supposedly use to instigate a war with Cuba in order to bring the Russians in and have an actual war instead of the Cold War. And Kennedy went against it, and supposedly that's also why he was shot.
Yeah, I've heard that too, where they think he cut a deal with Khrushchev over the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, he did cut a deal about missiles in Turkey,
But I mean,
too.
that was the whole...
But that wasn't it.
I don't know if I buy that.
Let me ask you, Matt.
I think it's a lot simpler.
You're 24. Is your friends getting jobs out there? I mean, what's the whole vibe? I don't know. We're
I
way
mean,
older than you.
it's tough. I mean, you go to school, you rack up 60 grand in debt, and as long as the great thing is there's loopholes. So as long as you don't make enough money, you don't actually have to start paying off your loans. But eventually, if you do get a job and you do make money, you got to start paying them off. And the interest, it's usually 6% now for student loans. So you're going to end up paying
Forever.
It's indentured servitude. So basically, it used to be in America, the American dream is you get married, you buy a house. So the house, that's what made you an indentured servant to the system because you work your whole life to pay off the house. Now it starts earlier. You work your whole life to pay off student loans. And then maybe eventually, if you're lucky enough, you get to buy a house.
Now, let me ask you, too, about the Federal Reserve, because Ron Paul rails about the Federal Reserve. And now, that came about what year? In the early 1900s? Was it 1913, like that guy was saying on...
I don't know, but I think so, yeah.
Around there. And what was the purpose of it? Was it because the country was in such financial trouble, we had to secure money somehow? What was the purpose of it?
The purpose of it was to make money for J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. And
what was the purpose that they gave, though? I mean, they wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, they wouldn't just say that's why we're doing it.
We'd like to make a few more dollars. Well, by all means.
Yeah, that's where the conspiracy thing comes into play. What were they telling
That's not crazy, though. What he said.
I know, but what were they telling the American people back then?
I think they said that that it was necessary because they needed to print more money to stimulate the economy. It's the same thing they do now when after we come out of a recession, they say, oh, we got to print more money. That'll stimulate the economy. And, of course, when you print more money, you get more inflation, so it's actually working against itself because then your money is worth less.
So you're down there for the party, but you're also... but you got your thoughts together.
Diddle chicks.
At least he's honest.
He's down there to diddle chicks. Yet if a camera comes up and puts it in his face, he can ramble about something.
But if you're 24, of course you could do both. You could finger a girl and have a cause.
Oh, yeah. I got no problem with that.
I'm 43, and I would do the same thing he did, except I'm too lazy to go to Wall Street, and I pay to get jerked off. Jimmy, I don't know what the Federal Reserve is. There's no difference.
Don't be surprised if you see Jimmy down there if he knows that these chicks are that easy.
He's not wearing deodorant. I love a chick with good smelling underarms.
No one's wearing deodorant.
Jimmy's going to paint up his sign tonight.
Yeah. Hell no, I won't go, whatever it means.
Yes. I would howl if I turn on the TV and there's Jim.
Yeah.
Knowing why he's really down there.
Yeah. And the fucking Stretch Factory, November 3, 4, 5 of this year is where it's all happening.
Yelling plugs out.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Improv or death.
What do you say to Anthony that says that you guys don't have an end game and all that?
Well, I think he's right. We really don't.
About that.
Yeah, it's like,
but see this, I know,
how does it end?
I just know there's something going on out there that just doesn't seem right. I don't know how it plays out in the end. I have no fucking idea.
It is starting to escalate. Like last night was different than any other night. There were normally there were maybe 500-600 of us a night. There were thousands last night.
Wait, there's 500 or 600 a night now?
Yeah, staying permanently. But last night during the march, there was 15, maybe 20,000 people at this march from like 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. And then, just at like 11 o'clock midnight, there's still thousands of people hanging out. So NYPD brought in, other nights maybe they had a couple, like 150 cops. There were probably 600-700 cops surrounding us last night, and they brought in a lot more barricades, and they barricaded off the whole area.
Mm-hmm. And the city is starting to say, we can't afford this.
Yeah,
we can't afford to have our guys down there every day.
And it was escalating last night, where there were some confrontations, like at the home base between.
Matt, can you be honest?
Yes.
The cops in general are being cool, right?
Few of them were being dicks last night. They
sure a few of the protesters were being dicks too.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
are some of the protesters being?
I heard that barricades were being thrown.
That is true. Barricades were knocked over when they marched to Wall Street. But there was a drum circle going on. This goes on every night.
I love a good drum circle.
Oh, it's great.
I hate to
nude.
It,
it's great.
I hope nude.
Not nude.
I don't like a drum circle. I hate to differ.
A nice bongo fucking drum circle. That's all right.
It's great. And it just goes on for hours.
They set up in Central Park on Sundays, and I've been known to just kind of hang out and check it out.
Really? A bunch of people doing bongos?
Yeah.
I would rather put on a cracker outfit and get jerked off on by 300 people and fucking watch bongos.
They get a nice beat going.
They made some rule, like they made some agreement that at 10 o'clock there's no more music allowed. And a lot of people didn't know this. So as soon as the clock struck 10 and, the drum circle was going on, a lieutenant or whatever, with his white uniform and his hat, he came in with his megaphone. He said, I'm da-da-da from NYPD. This is unnecessary and excessive noise. You guys got to stop. This is your one warning. Of course, I was, fuck you, man. Fuck the police, da-da-da. And we were all like, shut up, shut the fuck up. And then he's like, all right, this is your last warning. And next person to play the drum is getting arrested, right? So they walk away. There's this guy in a wheelchair. And he has literally no arms. He has like little hooks for arms. He's like a little cripple, right? And this guy, I swear to God,
I'll say he's a lot crippled.
this guy, he takes his hook and he bangs a drum. The lieutenant comes right in, arrests him. They wheel him off.
Good, fair. The guy was being a dick.
And he was warned.
Yeah, you want equal treatment.
He was warned.
The handcuffs just keep sliding off.
Exactly. Put a magnet in his back and he can't move.
I gotta say, Matt's making a good first impression. Yeah, how are you affording to go down there every night?
Oh, it's free. I mean,
no, I know, but you got to eat.
Yeah.
The food's free.
And you're not, what?
There's literally like a 24-hour buffet.
Who pays for that?
That rules.
Donations. There's people constantly coming in, bringing in food.
There are people
Restaurants
injecting money
around.
now.
There's a lot of people donating money. Like they have something like $65,000 already. And the thing is that what concerns me is we don't know who actually is controlling this money. You know, this is the thing. Like, right now, it's
corruption.
Right, it's got that
That'd be
potential.
hilarious.
Because right now it's a democracy, and like every night there's a meeting, and there's everyone yells out. It's chaotic, right? People do
Who
this
runs
thing.
it?
Nobody. That's the thing. Is like,
But who started this? Do you even know that?
No one.
Someone
no
on
one
Facebook?
knows.
It's fucking Lord of the Flies.
It really is.
man.
That's why
it's wild.
It's hilarious.
I find this really, really fascinating.
Yeah.
I gotta be
really
honest
is.
with you.
It's its
I don't know
own-
how this plays out, but
It's its own self-sufficient little community. Like we have unlimited food, we have blankets and sleeping
Where do
bags.
you go
we
duty?
have doctors at McDonald's.
They let you shit?
Yeah.
but that's
How
corporation.
long is
that's
the
a corporation.
I know, that's so ironic about it.
Yeah, it's a publicly traded company.
McDonald's.
Letting you shit.
That's funny.
You know what McDonald's does in this world?
I know.
I know.
That's the only place you
Right.
go to the bathroom.
They're probably killing protesters and serving them.
Right.
So wait, how long is the fucking shit line at McDonald's?
Sometimes when it's crowded, it's like 20 people. If you're lucky at night, it's like 4 or 5 people. It's not too bad.
You get the shit there?
What about
No, just out of courtesy, you don't shit. Really.
Where do you shit?
I mean,
fuck
I don't
that
shit
courtesy
down there.
shit. I gotta
I
shit, I
shit
gotta
here
shit.
usually.
I would shit.
Fuck yeah.
We
what,
shit here too from 6 to 10.
What about the locals? They hate you guys.
They, you don't see them much, but I mean, supposedly it's a residential community, so that's why we're supposed to not make a lot of noise after 11. But of course, you know, it's a bunch of young people, so people are up all night drinking, smoking pot, and it's
No flash mobs, though. No fucking real beatings. Maybe a few incidents, but
it's
how
really-
well certain
it's
people
peaceful,
behave.
I mean,
And what
for
about
us.
the business suit guys? You see them at all? Coming and going?
Yeah, you see them walking by. There's, there's guys that come through in suits, like they come from work and they come down. It's a lot more diverse than the media portrays it. It's not all white people. It's not all young people. You got a lot of old hippies. You got a lot of people come from work. You got black people. You got people, Europeans that don't even speak English. You got people speaking Spanish. You know, illegal immigrants. So it's pretty diverse. I mean, I guess
Everyone
the
with their own
majority
little cause. Yeah.
yeah, the majority is white. Hippies, but
But where are you getting your money from?
for
I know you're eating for free, and you're sleeping down there every night?
not every night. Last night was the first.
What'd
night.
you do? Sleep in a sleep bed with no pillow? I need
I
a fucking
just-
feather pillows.
No, I
Jimmy
just-
needs a pillow to protest.
I saw some pictures.
Yeah.
Man. They got
What the fuck is that monster?
Oh, no, that was good. Oh,
God.
that's that woman that got the face transplant.
From who?
That's the face transplant lady.
Fucking
From fucking Muggsy.
puppet? Yeah. Exactly. She's a Dick Tracy villain. With
gave
a
her-
weird face.
She didn't even look
They gave
real.
her a Yoko Ono face.
That was
Yoko Ono.
odd, man.
Yeah, but I mean, do you come from a wealthy family?
Not wealthy. I mean, they're pretty well off. I
How
mean,
do you
like
get- how do
to
you
pay
get-
for this whole Opie and Anthony experience here, I took out a $5,500 loan.
See,
So
that's going to cost you about 12 by the time you pay it
Probably.
back.
But where did you sleep? You slept in a sleeping bag?
Yeah, no, I borrowed some blankets from people, so I just laid out blankets.
On the
slept
dirty
on one.
ground? I
Yeah,
could
just-
never do
just
that.
Jimmy, you gotta be a
On
little.
the sidewalk? People
Yeah.
pissing shit
Gotta
on
be a
there.
little dirty
I
to
used
be
my
able to go down
backpack
there.
as a pillow.
Oh, I would never be. I would just be awake all night.
And he's more awake than us.
Yeah, I know. You probably had a more restful sleep than I did after fucking.
this.
How do you think there's room service and beds, Jimmy? Like fucking
I don't.
hotel.
Here's the rule. You want me down there? Fine. Mr. Norton has to have feather pillows.
Right. Kenny will call ahead for you.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know what these kids are doing.
Yeah.
Jim, they're fucking, it's dirty.
No bullhorn usage when Mr. Norton's trying to sleep.
And you know he'll just stand over you the whole night, making sure they comply. Well,
That's,
this is a look into the whole thing from a guy that's down there.
well,
right?
yeah, at least now we got, firsthand knowledge of.
And you don't seem like a stupid kid.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's well thought out,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
relaxed, and has some things to say.
Now I want to know
just
more
like
about the Federal
fact that he-
Reserve.
I like the fact that he diddled some chick.
Sure.
And I like that he's being honest about the whole
It
thing.
was
Stink finger.
incredibly smelly.
Did you Harry pussy?
She has
No,
to be
no.
just like.
Smooth?
Was that last night?
No, this was Saturday night.
Yeah.
She's got to be a little dirty.
Well, next time you
down,
bring
yeah.
those dirty fingers in here.
That makes me go,
I tried, like, I fingered her, and then I tried, I was rubbing her hand on my cock, and she, like, got all freaked out, and she was like, I think we're moving a little too quickly.
Oh, really? You had
Did
your
you kiss
fingers
her?
in her.
Did you kiss her?
Yeah, and she had the weirdest, she kissed, like, she put her chin up, and like this, like, you're
fish?
like, she literally put her chin up, so she would kiss, like, on my top lip, my upper lip. It was the strangest thing.
The fuck is she doing?
Yeah, it was very
Where's she
strange.
from?
She was from Hartford, and she's like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I smell. I've been living on the streets for like 3 weeks.
Did you get her? Did you get her?
Damn. Fantastic.
Pussy that hasn't been washed in
3 weeks.
Fucking great.
This kid rocks.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad looking kid, but fuck.
Filthy pussy.
Her fucking asshole opens. It probably sounds like linoleum being rolled out.
What the fuck, man?
Velcro. Yeah.
So did you get her number?
No,
Number.
no.
But wait, how do people charge their cell phones down there?
They have outlets.
Oh, they
Yeah.
where?
I don't know how
They
they
wired
do it,
him
but they
into
have
the
outlets.
fucking power poles.
Yeah, there's a
light
whole
pole.
area of like people just sitting on their computers at night, and just so they can go on Twitter and update their YouTubes and shit.
God, but you must get your computer dirty. I would hate to bang my laptop around the sidewalk. I'm not meant for protest.
Jimmy is not
you're not
meant
meant
for
for that.
this
no,
kind of thing.
I'm
no.
not very fly by the seat of my pants.
No, huh?
I like a gentleman's existence.
Well, this is quite interesting because I don't know how this ends.
Yeah.
I
that's-
neither do I.
Because the police can't just march in and fucking crack skulls and get them out of there.
there will-
That's what people
Or
are
if they
speculating,
do,
though.
that's going to just really get people fucking
Here's the
riled.
two ways it can end.
Okay.
Look, the city's got to run. Here's what you people have to do, or else we are going to have to take measures to clear out this park and the streets. Or I have a feeling
Winter.
when the temperature dips,
Okay, you're right.
people are going to fucking go home.
yeah.
I think that's what they're hoping for.
When it's 10 degrees out, it's going to be a little hard to be, hey,
Rah,
the world
rah, rah.
is for watching us freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pussy's going to be
Yeah.
really cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although people are planning to bring in like radiators and shit. But here's the thing, like about these protests going back to like the 60s and 70s. Always a police tactic they do is they put plants in the crowd, right? And so
That's
what?
nice. It's kind of a good feeling. Have a little bit of nature.
Jimmy, no, he
Shouldn't
means
that be a
they
chip line?
Yeah, so
Plan
I thought I
someone.
was doing it as Chip, and I just said no. He's right though.
But
Oh, Chip, Jimmy.
And how is your shirt not wrinkled?
I don't know.
It's very
He's
wrinkled.
got a
Permanent
collared shirt
press.
on.
Permanent press.
Yeah, go ahead. Go,
So they'll put plants in the crowd, and they'll have them say, "Oh, fuck the police," and they'll have them start fights with the police and start throwing shit at the police, and that'll give them an excuse to
Now,
come
how do you
in.
know that they're plants?
Yeah.
You don't. See, that's the thing.
But then how do you know that?
We know they're there, but we don't know who is.
But how do you know they are?
How do you know they're not genuine protesters?
Because there's always it's
Like, could
just
that
a
be
tactic.
protesters just saying, "Hey, those guys are
Could be an
plants,"
instigator.
to excuse
Absolutely.
bad?
And that's the thing. We
don't know.
can never know.
How would the cops know? Wouldn't they just rack the heads of the plant?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's always been a tactic.
Oh,
Yeah.
it probably has been.
Well, they did that in Egypt, right?
to infiltrate.
Yeah, I think so.
They had some plants in Egypt.
And
too.
with like the whole
Are
Brooklyn
you guys
Bridge,
looking at Egypt as something
I
to look up to?
not really. I mean, maybe for some people. I don't know. It seemed a lot more chaotic than this. Is pretty peaceful, and it's really just a bunch of people hanging out and playing music, and
It really is just a hang.
it really is. It's not as violent as the Egypt thing, and it's not meant to be. I think it's a lot more productive if it's peaceful, because if it's violent, it's gonna end quickly and badly, because they have all the guns. We don't.
Yes, yes, we do. Oh,
someone told me, by the way, that there's 600 million privately owned weapons in the United States.
That's nice, right?
Which, yeah, if there was ever going to be a revolution, it does give you hope.
Well, yeah, that's true. It does well against howitzers and shelling from 5 miles away.
Right.
I think the government's got...
In the end, they got the bigger guns.
The thing is, a true revolution, you need the military to come over to your side.
Absolutely.
That's why when people say, what are you going to do with your guns? The Army's got this. Like, no, when it happens like that, that's when the military comes over and says, yeah, fuck this government, and kind of helps out. So, yeah, that's a dumb argument. But, yeah, a lot of guns. People love their guns here in America.
I mean, I guess for a guy like you, you probably wouldn't have a reason to have to turn against the government unless you really got to the point where society was breaking down.
No, I can't stand how the government taxes the living shit out of me. I don't like that at all. And with no accountability, I don't know where my money's going.
I mean, it's a scam.
Corruption.
It's an absolute scam.
It's being used for shit that I never fucking... my representative is not representing me. I don't know who the fuck they're representing.
Themselves.
I go through. I want to do something to my house, and I got to go through all kinds of hoops and permits and shit, and pay more money out. And I think to myself, okay, so a representative went to Washington, or a representative went to the local, politicians, and said, "Here's what we have to do. We have to make it very expensive for someone to put up a fence around their yard." Like, really? Does that represent what the people really wanted? Did the people go, hey, I elected you. By the way, could you charge me a fucking insane amount of money and make it really difficult to build anything on my property? And then you start thinking that and think, they're not representing me. They're representing their next gig.
Right. Why do you think they do it? It's more money.
Yeah, it's
less freedom. I mean, if it takes you all this bullshit to just build a fucking fence on your property, then you're going to be like, hey, fuck it,
Yeah.
And not even do it.
We've talked about it a lot. There's the freedom in this country it's a joke
bullshit.
Because you're not free to do anything.
You don't own anything.
Go ahead, go hunting.
In the end.
Go hunting.
Right.
And I don't mean go where they say, where the permits are and get a permit. I mean, just go out on Long Island, grab a shotgun, and just go hunting. Watch how fast you're locked up.
Right.
Now, that should be a freedom. I don't know.
Fuck that.
How about just go...
You're going too far with it because you've had this experience. Try just taking a tree out of your yard. On your property that you supposedly own because you bought the house and the property, or try putting a fucking pool in.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the hunting thing is a good analogy,
but
it's even dumber shit that's going on.
You could buy your house and then they could completely take it away if you don't pay the taxes on it. And it's like, wait, but I bought the house.
Right.
Yeah, but it's on our property. No, it's mine. I bought it. Nah, not really.
Why is it?
See, we're going to tax it. And if you can't pay the taxes, then we're going to take all your shit.
Why is it? Why is it you're never done paying? I don't understand that concept.
Basically, they charge you just to stay alive. I think that's what it is.
Hey, Matt, a couple things because I just checked my Twitter. A, are you an Obama guy?
No, absolutely not.
Were you ever an Obama guy?
I was. I actually did fall for the trap, and the night he won, I went around with the girl I was with.
Never heard him called traps
We
before.
drove through the ghetto and honked the horn. Yeah, Obama, fuck yeah, and it was all bullshit.
Like you got mugged. That would have been hilarious. Did you get Obama? Yeah, come here, motherfucker.
Did you get a good fingering in because Obama won?
I'm sure I did.
He loves to fingers again.
He really does. That's why his hand was out the window in the ghetto. He wasn't waving about Obama's fucking fingers smelled like fucking turtle food.
He's the fingering kid.
Oh yeah.
Kid. And who would you vote for next?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Not Ron Paul? You sound like a Ron Paul guy.
No, not even Ron Paul. Because I have a feeling with Ron Paul, he's like meant to be the crazy guy on the fringe of the system, but he's still within the system. So if he were to ever get elected, which he would never, ever fucking be elected, they would never let that happen. But even if he was, the things that he says he's going to do would never happen.
Yeah, he can't do anything.
You really can't. I mean, the system's not meant to change.
He's important to get elected, though. I'll tell you why. Because if a guy like Ron Paul gets elected, he is seen on the fringe of the system, but he's seen far enough outside the norm where it would be, hey, this is a possibility.
It would help.
So you
It would help.
you think Congress would just sign off on all this crazy shit?
No. But
so he'd sit there like Obama's sitting there, not able to do anything.
But he's also a very eloquent. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to the economy, and he seems the type of guy that is would be very difficult to not act on because he has a great rebuttal for whatever it is you're not doing, and he answers questions very directly.
See, I don't think he'll ever be elected.
You're probably right. He's very old.
The thing is, though, is the president doesn't actually have the ultimate authority in this country. That's what people don't realize.
No, I think
there's a lot of people
starting to realize that.
above the president. There's a guy, Obama's advisor is Zbigniew Brzezinski, and he's a guy who's on the Trilateral Commission and the Council for Foreign Relations. He's one of the elite. He's one of the most powerful people in the world. So Obama's taking his orders from this guy, who's taking his orders from even more powerful people at the very top.
But is it taking orders though as an advisor though?
Absolutely. It's more than that. He's literally a puppet. He's literally an actor, and all presidents are. They have no power themselves.
I kind of believe a lot of that.
I don't think it's so much this kind of mystical little pyramid of people. I think it's a partisan Congress that can't do anything with each other. They're just looking for their next gigs. They don't want to do anything that the other party brings up, because then when election rolls around, they go, well, look what he did. He was against the party, so don't vote for him.
Well, of course, it's designed to be that way as well. It's supposed to be two sides.
But it was supposed to be a checks and balance kind of thing, but it's just turned into we will never let you get a bill through because it just makes our side look bad.
But that is by design. That's not by accident. It's supposed to be like all tied up, where nothing is ever going to get done. And then you have the illusion that there are two sides, and that next election you have a chance of putting someone else in who's going to change things. But of course, we saw with Obama, it was all bullshit. And it's always going to be all bullshit. So you got to remember, with this next election, whatever any of them say, it's all bullshit.
I think Obama was sincere in wanting to change things. I really believed him just as a guy.
Yeah,
but
I can't even believe that much. I think he was just full of shit, wanted to be president.
Nah, I don't feel that way about him. I didn't feel he was totally full of shit. I don't feel Jimmy Carter was full of shit.
Yeah.
No, Jimmy Carter, I know, was a guy that legitimately cares about people and hoped for the best. And boy, one of the worst presidents we ever had.
Pat Oswalt raised a good point.
He builds a good house, though, Ant.
You don't need
a good house.
You can't have someone like that as president.
No, a guy. Patton's point was, and I wish I had thought of it, was
General.
Yes, actually, about you can't fight in the army if you're a yellow belly.
Yes,
No,
exactly in the face.
Was that it was that it was the nice guys, the guys who aren't ruthless, don't make effective presidents. You have to be fairly. And Clinton was a Democrat, but he seems like a pretty fucking ruthless guy.
Yeah.
I've heard stories he was a fucking screamer and a relatively brutal.
Well, he was in during the whole Bosnia thing and the debacle in Somalia.
You can't imagine Clinton being a screamer.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying you can't imagine.
I know somebody involved with one of his organizations, and they said they were walking, like there was a sectioned off area for Clinton and his people to walk. And the guy I know was on the other side of that sectioned off area. But, it was still a secure area.
Al Gore?
What's that? No. It was Tipper.
Fucking Al Gore.
I was actually me. I was in a girl outfit massaging Al Gore. And he was asking for his glutes and receptors to be tugged.
Receptors.
Yeah, he was using proper language. The gluteus needs to be. So, and the guy said that he's never heard anybody scream like Clinton was screaming. It was something over routing, and he said he was just motherfucking. It was a private area.
What? I'm bummed.
Supposedly he was a brutal guy.
Yeah, I'm bummed I didn't
nice.
ask him when I met him and got that picture. I should have asked him about that.
I'm bummed he didn't scream at you, so you knew from firsthand.
Yeah.
Get this guy away from me.
Fuck away from me.
Like,
Jimmy now dreams about me in the Clinton picture. It's got that bad.
I talked about it on stage last night.
Did you really?
Because I said something about I said about my dream, and someone yelled, "Yeah, Opie's Obama picture." At the Comedy Cellar.
Yell things
so
out.
I'm like, I have to explain to the audience, like, my friend Opie's got a better picture than me, and they just didn't give a fuck. Like, so what?
But Jimmy obsessed.
It's not a part of my life.
About it
I had to think about it.
Now you're not the gatekeeper, are you?
The gatekeeper?
Yeah.
No, I'm not
okay,
the gatekeeper.
all right. I just want to make sure.
No, the keeper's not gay.
Oh,
the gay
Oh,
keeper.
fuck. Well, fuck Matt. Good first appearance. Good radio voice.
That's why he was laying outside, because he's Matt.
You got your
God, good one.
That was Hank Chip's great.
I should be
like that.
protesting, cracking
you
everybody
got your
up.
thoughts together. I don't know. I believe some of the shit, but at least you got your thoughts. And,
One thing about the presidents is you gotta take a look at where these guys come from. Clinton he came from an elite background.
A little town named Hope.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I mean,
of course it is.
Look where he studied. He studied at the London School of Economics.
Yeah.
That's where all these presidents, they always study at the London School of Economics, and they all come from elite backgrounds. Even Obama. The whole story about him coming out of nowhere in the political spectrum, it's not true. This guy has been, for 20 years probably, they've been preparing him to be president.
Yeah, it's
so
not like fucking young Abe Lincoln coming from his log cabin.
It's not, and who knows even where he came from. He might have been an elite himself.
I don't
know where
believe
he
that
came
he was
from.
being prepared for
Budinsky.
president for 20 years, though.
Yeah.
'Cause Who are they
they all are.
preparing now? I mean, you look at the Republican candidates.
They
no one
probably
is- no one
already
is-
know who the next president's going to be, and we just don't
Now,
know
they
yet.
would have better. I'm telling you, if that's what they were doing, I don't believe that. Only because there's such transparency. And it's so easy to see how full of shit they are right now. If they've been preparing for people doing this stuff, then they did not prepare for the way information is passed, because too many people are now questioning things, and that's you know what I mean. Too many people are talking about the Federal
questioning.
Reserve. But it's like too many people, and people can find out things instantly now. It's just not as easy, I guess it was.
But
50
it's
years
still
ago.
a small minority. I mean, look at Wall Street. Even if we have 10,000 people down there, there's 10 million people in this city. It's still a very, very small minority. And even the media coverage, I mean, you would think that this would be the biggest story of the day still, civil unrest in New York City. But no, they hide it. It's
Well, no, it's not that. They're starting to kind of do stories on it finally.
They were leaving it alone because it just seemed like, you know, a bunch of fucking people smoking weed in the park and just kind of mouthing off.
Fingering
But
dirty
now
shit.
now that the cops are starting to rack some head, it gets a little more exciting, and they start covering it. That's how the news is.
Peaceful protests are not interesting.
No,
That
they
is
suck.
true.
Only shit being thrown through the Starbucks window or whatever.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's what
After
it
the
is.
Brooklyn Bridge thing, you know, when 800 were arrested, that's when the
Right.
news coverage really started.
Yeah, that's when
ramping
they
up.
started covering
Wow.
shit.
And supposedly about that, from everything I heard, is that the police really did corral people onto the bridge.
You didn't see that one thing where they were warning
Well, of
people?
course they're going to put out a video like
Well,
that.
then
I mean,
of course
but
they're
if-
going to put out things that said they corralled them
Well,
onto the
exactly.
bridge.
But I
And-
mean,
and by the way, there were people in the street. It's like, get off the fucking street. People are trying to drive.
there were,
I'm trying to get home.
There were a shitload of people. There were like 5,000 people marching. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you confine them all to a sidewalk?
Well, that's just it. You're not supposed to fucking march 5,000 people across a bridge that people are supposed to drive on.
See, that's
and if
why-
you do, you're going to be arrested.
That's why I have a feeling whoever was leading this march, like, you know, we have no idea who
Plant?
is. Yeah.
That's the plant.
That I really think they were, because the police had paddy wagons, they had buses ready.
Hey, Patty Wagon.
Yeah.
They
Like
had
they still
buses
call them
ready
that.
to make these mass arrests, and they carry around these zip ties.
Yeah,
They're
the
these,
zip strip cuffs.
They were ready to make 1,000 fucking arrests.
Can I want to read this tweet. Walk of Shame Band. Your intern had me liking him until he said he was voting for nobody. Way to make your voice heard by protesting, douche. There's a lot of people that make their voice heard by not voting.
Yeah.
What is wrong with not voting? That means you don't like anybody.
Exactly, and I think it
Why do you have
means
to be forced to vote for someone maybe you sort of might possibly like?
you shouldn't. I think it's better to stay out of the voting system itself. And
The
just,
fucking great George Carlin didn't vote.
Yeah.
And he was no dummy.
Well, I think he realized that it doesn't do anything. I mean, the systems, it's a very small, you only have a very small number of choices. Even if you vote for Ron Paul in this upcoming election, you know he's not going to win. I mean, he'll be like Ross Perot was back in 92 or whatever. And
That's
he'll
the
be
only
like
time I ever
third-party
voted was
guy.
for Ross Perot.
Yeah, but, you know, so what are you going to do? You're going to
blew it
take
with the
votes
vice
away from
president
another
thing,
guy.
man.
Yeah, you're just going to be a spoiler.
Right.
Yeah.
Stockdale, yeah. He never did, but
Stockdale,
yeah.
wow, man.
But he
That-
also got weird. Ross Perot got weird at one point.
But Ross Perot had all that heat, and then he picked Stockdale, who was just fucking out of his mind.
and he got nutty. He got
Ross
nutty.
Ross did?
Yeah, he was doing amazingly well.
Vast right-wing conspiracy.
Yeah, he got too crazy, and people like, they tried to disrupt my daughter's birthday party. Shut up.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
What a hoot that guy was.
Yeah.
All right, listen, Matt,
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
All
Good
right,
job.
thanks,
we
guys.
got Jim
Yes.
Jeffries coming in and William Shatner at 9:30, and you're going to be down there tonight?
Yeah, I'll be back down there.
So let's get a report
All
from
right.
Matt tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Really
good.
keep your eyes and ears open, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep your eyes open, especially when there's spring mace in them. Okay? Yeah, you just keep those
Yeah,
open.
but the kids fingering girls, you gotta
Maybe you could
appreciate
ask the
that.
cop for some mace for your fingers. Like, hey, officer, could you just spray my fingers, man? This chick's filthy.
Yeah, then you put it in the cunt.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that was rough.
Mace fingers in her cunt.
That's a little
It's a
harsh.
great name for a fucking alternative band.
I love that she actually said I stink because I've been out here for 3
Was her
weeks.
breath bad?
No, not really, actually.
Let's go.
Hey, you got that Carlin voting thing, man? 'Cause
By the way, what genius bit that is.
I love fucking Carlin and that he openly said he didn't vote. Maybe he voted, but in general, he never voted.
It's the reveal of, like, because he takes something that we all know the answer to. Like, we all know the pat answer to what he says. I don't vote, so you can't complain. And the reveal of how he doesn't vote is fucking brilliant. He just changes your logic in that one moment.
Yeah.
I respect people more for not voting because I think it's making a statement of that I don't even want to choose between these choices you've given me. I want something different.
I get a lot of shit because I say I don't vote. I almost voted for Obama. It came close where I was like, holy fuck, I might vote for the first time.
Well, it's good you didn't fall in the trap.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
you know what? In the end, I
got
didn't.
fooled.
In the end, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
I like voting. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's fine too.
Pull
I'm
the
not.
machine. You
A
get
little
to see
private booth.
stupid people.
I get scared I'm not going to do it right. I just panic. I don't know where to go. Am I registered? What, do I pull the lever? Is it embarrassing? Are people going to laugh at me? You did it wrong. What are all these fucking names on here? How do I do it?
He's looking for a hole in the curtain. Put his
We got it, man.
I know.
I absolutely respect people that want to vote and go out and vote. I absolutely do. But you know, there's a reason a lot of people don't vote. It's not just laziness.
No, I think it's mostly
They're
laziness.
smart.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, don't
think
give,
most-
pe-
and
don't
is
give
that
people
why-
that much credit.
And that's why I get shit then. I'm lumped into the lazy. But maybe
People
there
are
are
lazy.
people out
Maybe
there
you're
that don't
smart.
vote because they don't fucking like the choices.
I think that's the majority of the people that are lazy.
I
Then
probably
there's the
would have to
people
agree with you.
that actually have this knowledge of the system and say, no, why am I going to be a part of that? And then there are the people that just go, you know, hey, well, I'll pull the lever for this motherfucker.
Seems like the local voting is way more important.
Local elections.
Yeah, local
Yeah,
elections
at least you have a little bit more of a
seem a
say
little
in
more
that.
important. But all right, you got the Carlin thing.
Thing.
Oh boy, E-Rock doesn't have it.
rock.
He had an hour to.
Do you
find
have it?
No, I don't have
We've
it.
played
Why
it.
don't you? He just asked for it.
No,
you
I
haven't
don't.
been looking for it.
We've played
I
it
have been
before.
looking for it.
Sir,
We
I do
played it
not
many
have
times before. Were you paying attention?
Yes.
What were you doing?
What
He's
did,
so poor he can't pay attention.
what did Matt summarize what Matt said in the last 45 minutes if you were paying attention?
He fingered a girl and he hates the government.
A plus.
Plus on your on your pop quiz.
On your thesis. Good job.
I fucking love the new E-Rock.
I know.
Do you have it, though?
I might know the name.
I don't know the name of
Hold
the
on. I, mean, I have it on my... I'll give you a second. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
George Carlin. And it's called...
I fingered a girl. What a great comedy
That's
track that
Iraq's
would be.
summation.
Oh, wait. It might be
Oh,
called...
did he smash me?
Is it... hold on. It might be... is it the end of... Back in Town? There's a bit called Random Hostility. I want to see if it's on Back in Town. Free Floating Hostility. I don't know if it's on... There. Hold on. I'll tell you in a second.
I'm looking down here to see if anybody pops it up.
Yeah, I
but
don't know where it is. It's not
these
on Your Old
people
Disease.
don't seem to be,
Oh, my God.
Is it Back in Town? Is that the one I'm looking at? Yeah, but that's probably on the end of Free Floating Hostility, which is a 17-minute bit.
I found it.
He's screaming.
God, anyone that tweets me boring gets a fucking one-way ticket to Block Island. What's wrong with you?
shit.
This is real shit going on in the world.
I think it's interesting. We're talking to a guy
Of course it was.
has a nice voice. He's a nice boy.
And
He
just in
likes
case
his-
you're not into it, he's talking about fingering dirty pussy. How do you not listen to this shit?
That was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Right there. Love that.
Dirty pussy and where your fingers
Love
smell.
the fingering.
How'd you get the
dirty
smell out of
pussy.
your fingers? Because I back in the day, I had a problem with that too.
Yeah, with McDonald's, wash my hands. But I always like to...
No, sometimes washing doesn't take care of it. That's what I'm getting at.
If it's not excessively smelly like this one, I won't wash just so I can smell it all day.
Yeah, you
But-
need a little carry around with.
Yeah, I love that. Just, you know...
What's
a
worse than a
reminder.
sour, like a sour milk pussy? Old fucking yeast underpants?
Leave it up to Jimmy to take the sexiness out of it.
You ever smell a sour milk pussy, though?
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Sour milk pussy.
terrible.
Man, have you
That's
been
pretty
with
bad.
some people?
Yay.
I had a dirty pussy girlfriend in college, man. It was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I don't mind a little stink.
I guess maybe if I cut my nails, maybe that would help because I think it gets under the nails.
What are you, scraping, taking fucking samples?
Yeah, he's
Ah,
giving
dude,
her a pap smear.
Fucking had a brush and was scrubbing out my nails. It was
Some
so
of them,
bad.
some of them, I think it's like a permanent thing.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
others, it's just because they haven't showered
Yeah,
in a little while.
There's an actual thing that happens.
Vaginosis.
There's a vaginosis.
Vaginosis. It's when there's a fluid collects under the labia and it smells like garbage juice. You can wash it all you want, but it's just the nature of the cell structure. The cells collect and it begins to coagulate.
Oh, fuck.
Let me
what is
see,
that?
Dan.
A leaky stuff.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, Jesus
See, I
Christ.
hate when I see a white pussy like that. That looks like a yeast infection.
Oh, my God.
Either that or it's got fucking fungus on it. Probably yeast.
Good.
And women will say, look at me, I'm coming. It's like, no, you're not. That's fucking, your pussy has eye boogies in it.
Nothing worse
Did
than
your pussy just wake up?
nothing worse than a pussy that oozes mayonnaise.
Oh, it's terrible. You can almost hear it yawning.
Maybe it's just got like commented from like a month ago.
Yeah, maybe. I'd hope so.
All right,
Or spider web.
It's Matt's show now.
I know.
Let's
Yeah,
put him
what's
on the
this
fucking
show called?
billboard.
The Matt and Jim and Aunt Nov and Danny show or something?
Good one, Chip.
We should have Matt do the shit hour. Sam's not here today.
Oh,
do the shit out.
there you
Where
go.
is Sam? Oh,
Sounds very, very mysterious.
hopefully getting a Steve Jobs-like diagnosis.
Steve Jobs.
I didn't want to make fun of Steve Jobs, so I said Steve.
Steve Jobs.
I really did trip on that fucking Igor Zolcham. Steve.
Steve Jobs.
Hey, E-Rock, would you help Matt through the shit hour today?
Sure. if
You could do
want.
like a whole Occupy Wall Street type hour or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. We'll see if it makes sense. Hey, George Carlin to break. Jim Jeffries next.
Yeah.
And William Shatner at 9:30.